right now on News Channel 8 at 6.
Tonight, a massive security breach. Hackers target a popular store, putting millions of people's credit and debit cards at risk.
Plus, officer arrested. He was supposed to be helping teens at a Tampa high school. Instead, police say he was having sex with one.
And sinkhole worries. One opened up dangerously close to several homes, forcing 2 families to evacuate. Good evening. I'm Stacy Scheibel.
And I'm Keith Kate. Thank you for joining us tonight. It is a security breach impacting some 40 million credit and debit card customers across the country. The U.S. Secret Service and Target stores are confirming credit and debit card information has been compromised at the store, and fraudulent purchases are already showing up. We have 8 on Your Side team coverage for you tonight. In just a few minutes, we'll have some advice on what you should do if you're worried about all of this, but we're going to begin with you. News Channel 8's Jeff Patterson, and he has details on who is impacted by all of this. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, Keith, this could have impacted anyone who has shopped at a Target store like this one on Gandy Boulevard between November 27th and December 15th if they have used a credit or a debit card. Holiday shopping or just picking up the essentials. If you've shopped in a Target store in the last few weeks, you should be checking your bank statement. Target says the accounts of as many as 40 million people have been hacked. Kristen Steffen may be one of them.
Last night I was at dinner, and my card got declined.
The stolen data from Target is a gold mine for thieves. Customer names, credit card and debit card numbers, card expiration dates, and the 3-digit security code on the back of the card. However, Target says the security breach did not impact online sales. Target says they have identified and corrected the security problem. But that doesn't help Kristen Steffen, who says fraudulent charges were made using her information in Port St. Lucie and West Palm Beach, Florida. And she says her bank believes the problem started with a trip to Target.
And they said, actually, we've been looking into your card a little further, and we believe, based on your debit card number, it's matching with the compromised information from the Target transactions.
Taryn Alexander is also a frequent shopper at Target and says her debit card has been compromised before during online shopping at another retailer. Now she regularly checks her bank statements.
It's upsetting, but in this day and age, it seems kind of like it happens all the time now. It's something you expect almost.
Yeah, Target says that they have, we're repeating here because I think this is important. Target says that they have identified and corrected the problem. They're now working with law enforcement agencies to catch the thieves. Keith.
All right, thank you, Jeff. And again, something else that's really relevant here is the timetable. Investigators believe the security breach began right before Black Friday on Wednesday, November 27th. It was discovered this past Sunday, December 15th.
And this security breach does have a lot of shoppers very nervous, especially if you're one of them and you bought things at a Target during that time frame that Keith just mentioned. 8 on Your Side does have tips that you need to know when it comes to what to do now and how to protect yourself in the future. News Channel 8's Lauren Make joins us from the Tampa newsroom. And does everybody need to be worried about this? We're talking 40 million people, Lauren.
Yeah, well, everyone should be paying attention to this if you know you made a purchase there at that time. If that's the case, your first step should be to do some investigating of your own. Now, here are your first steps. Check your account activity for your credit card, or if it's a debit card, you want to look at your bank account. Look for charges that you didn't make, anything you don't recognize at any retailer, not just at Target, and see if there's anything suspicious. Then if there is, call your financial institution and they will look into it for you. Now, keep in mind, these criminals now have enough information to clone your card, but they might not do so right away. So keep checking your account. It really could be weeks or months down the line that something pops up. Now, I spoke today with Debbie Clark of USF Federal Credit Union about one big question a lot of consumers have. Do you have to cancel your card?
If that makes you feel more comfortable, please call your financial institution and tell them that you would want to do that. And of course, it would be on a case-by-case basis. And you know, some financial institutions may charge you to reissue your card, and some may reissue it at no charge. So again, it's the individual financial institutions. But if that makes you comfortable, then do it.
Now, going forward, to protect yourself, you should continue to check those accounts on a regular basis and check with credit bureaus to see if any cards have been opened in your name. And, you know, some financial institutions even let you set up a system to be notified every time there's a charge on your card. So if you're okay with getting all of those messages, maybe emails or text messages, well, that's something you can check into. Stacey?
And Lauren, my favorite part of what you just said is just because you don't see anything that looks suspicious now doesn't mean you're in the clear. If they have the information, continue to follow it. Check it daily, according to Debbie, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to remember. It's hard for all of us. We're so busy, but, you know, just make it part of your routine.
Better safe than sorry. Thank you. So what is your liability if hackers use your account? Well, federal law limits your losses to $50 for a credit card, but your liability for fraudulent use of a debit card can be a whole lot more. It's limited to $50 if you report the loss within 2 business days, but that jumps to $500 if you wait 2 days to report the loss. We have much more on the credit card breach at Target on WFLA.com, including more advice on how you can protect your own identity.
And now to a developing story out of Tampa tonight. Tampa police have fired a school resource officer who is accused of having a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old student. 36-year-old Brian Morales was working at Blake High School and served 7 years as a Tampa police officer. The married father is not cooperating with the police in the investigation. The student's mother contacted them. Morales is facing 8 felony counts of sexual activity with a minor. Chief Jane Castor was visibly upset after the news conference and had this to say about Morales' behavior.
He certainly doesn't deserve to wear the Tampa Police Department uniform. He has not upheld the high standards that we are all held to in this department. And in fact, he has discredited all law enforcement. And then the fact that he was a school resource officer who deserves the trust and respect of the students that they oversee is just disgraceful.
When asked if the relationship was consensual, Chief Castor said, quote, "The victim does not have the ability to consent." School resource officers require background checks. Tampa police say Morales had no prior criminal history.
We are following another developing story tonight. This one in Pasco County. A sinkhole opened up between 2 homes in Land O' Lakes. The homes are located in the 9600 block of Nathaniel Lane. News Channel 8's Steve Andrews has monitored this activity all day. He joins us live, and I guess they've already filled in the sinkhole. Steve, is that true?
Yeah, Stacy, this sinkhole wasn't all that big, but it was big enough to put this Land O' Lakes neighborhood on edge. The sinkhole opened this morning as a crew pumped grout into an existing cavity at 9631 Nathaniel Lane. Project engineer Larry Madrid.
It's most likely that the grouting itself, with the pressures in the ground, may have caused the adjacent one. We don't know that even.
The hole spread to about 10 feet in diameter, creeping under Chris Locke's house.
I'm not sure. I'm not real sure. They had said, they could see that and all that, but basically, it's not bad, but it's not good.
Emergency management recommended Locke and her neighbors evacuate their homes until engineers say they're safe. All of this is unsettling to neighbor Bill Joseph.
Very concerned. I got my daughter and 4 grandkids living here, so I'm very concerned.
Now, Chris Locke told me that she and her family will be staying with friends. Madrid says the Locks should not be going back into this house until their insurance company gets their engineers out here to determine what effect this sinkhole has had on their property.
And Steve, from what I gather, this is not the first issue with sinkholes in this neighborhood.
No, Stacey, what I'm hearing from neighbors is that a house right across the street from these 2 behind me, which is right in front of me, had some sinkhole repair work done not so long ago. And a hydrogeologist told me earlier today that Land O' Lakes has the greatest density of sinkholes in the state.
All right, thank you, Steve. And this massive sinkhole is still fresh on everyone's mind. Check that out. This was in the backyard. It opened up in a Dunedin neighborhood last month, swallowing up 2 homes. And just like in Land O' Lakes, one of the homes was undergoing sinkhole repairs when the earth opened up.
An Air Force sergeant turned to aid on your side after her brand new home flooded not once, but twice. But she did not let her string of bad luck keep her down. Coming up next, how the community is coming together to help her out. Plus, our extended warranties, really worth it. 8 on Your Side takes a closer look coming up.
Temperatures continuing to warm up tomorrow, and then we're looking at near record high temperatures by this weekend. We'll go over those temps for you and talk about the Christmas forecast coming up.
You may recall we told you last night there was a pleasant surprise coming for the military family that 8 on Your Side has been trying to help for a few weeks now. They've suffered through 2 floods in 2 weeks in their brand new Tampa home next to MacDill Air Force Base. Well, so here's the good news. Santa teamed up with the Home Depot in Largo and the Military Vets Warrior Mentorship Program to deliver some special Christmas gifts to the daughter of Tech Sergeant Talisha Edwards. The family has been staying in a cramped hotel room while workers repair flood damage to that new home. Edwards already volunteers with the MacDill Hotline for other airmen in distress and says she now plans to pay forward the kindness that her family received today.
I'm blessed. Overall, I'm blessed, and there are great people out here to help.
Edwards' family will have to celebrate Christmas in that hotel room, but hopes to move back into their new home as soon as the repairs are finished, and she hopes that will be before New Year's.
Well, if you're buying a computer or a TV or just about any gadget this holiday season, you might consider an extended warranty. They're usually offered where you buy the item, but there's another option. We're going to have details on that coming up next. 'Tis the season for buying gadgets, and the big question, to buy an extended warranty or not. I brought you this story earlier in the week, but this triggered a second story because you know they're almost always offered at the point of purchase, but tonight we have a different option if you want that extra added protection.
I dropped my phone when my dad was picking me up from school, and it fell face down. And when I picked it up, the whole screen was shattered, and I was about to cry.
Sarah Abraham is like a lot of teenagers. She feels helpless without her smartphone. She's broken a few in her time, but lucky for her, her dad, Stephen, has her covered.
I'm big on extended warranties and having that peace of mind.
Abraham is a huge fan of Square Trade, an online company that offers extended warranties on a lot of things.
And how many warranties do you have?
We have 15 current warranties.
Abraham has been a Square Trade customer for more than 6 years and has protection plans on everything from his wristwatch to his laptop.
I hate paying for repairs. If I can pay a little bit up front to have me peace of mind covered on a product, I would rather do that.
Do you think you're money ahead?
I think in the long run, yes.
SquareTrade.com co-founder, CEO Steve Abernethy says his company is a popular choice.
The 2 biggies are tablets and smartphones.
When consumers are looking for a way to protect their sometimes delicate devices.
People are using these devices a lot different than we used our phones and our laptops in the past. I don't know if you have kids, but smartphones and tablets are the #1 kid pacifier in the world.
But are extended warranties money well spent? Consumer Reports advises against buying them in general, calling them notoriously bad deals. Abernethy calls that outdated advice because of how we now use our mobile devices.
Your manufacturer warranty does not cover the toilet or the sidewalk.
Square Trade touts quicker, better service for a lower price.
If you have an iPhone, we can actually get you back and running the same day. So you can go, we'll send you to, if you're close to an Apple store and you want to go there, you can go in and we'll reimburse you to fix your phone or have them replace your phone right then and there. Same thing with an Android, a Samsung Android. We'll actually connect you with a local repair facility. We'll reimburse you to do it right there.
And Square Trade does offer a 5-day guarantee on getting your device repaired, or you get your money back. So it's a popular place for folks who want to buy these warranties, and it's typically less expensive than when you buy it at the point of purchase, at least according to Square Trade.
Now, that certainly is an option. I rarely get them, but, you know, I did the same thing as that
with
girl
your phone?
did.
How much did it cost to fix your phone?
I don't even know. All I know is I didn't have insurance on it, and I had to buy another one, and I was very flabbergasted and frustrated. And I have insurance on it now, though.
I bet you do. Yeah. And I guess he said, you know, tablets and smartphones, those are the ones everybody seems to be getting it. Yep.
All right.
And we're right in the peak of the holiday season. Christmas on everyone's mind. So let's take a sneak peek at that forecast for you. Mid-70s is what we're going to be looking at this year. So going to be warm for us. Definitely a Florida Christmas. Partly cloudy, just a little bit above average for this time of year. But as of right now, we're going to keep rain chances out of the forecast for us. And as we head into tonight, we're going to see mild temperatures. Not nearly as cold as we were the night before. So mid-60s for around 9 p.m. or so. Waking up tomorrow morning, upper 50s. The past couple of days, we've been in the 40s. So the 50s are going to feel a little bit better for us, more comfortable by tomorrow afternoon, up to around 80 degrees. So above average temperatures, and we're going to keep that going as we head into this weekend. Actually, this weekend, looking at near record highs. Forecast high for Saturday and Sunday, sitting at 83 degrees. The old record, 85 degrees. So going to be coming very close to that. Just a slim chance of rain this weekend as well. Overall, just going to be a warm day for you. You can see large area of high pressure just over us. That's going to keep this major winter storm that's going to affect much of the country from coming anywhere near us. So we're only looking at a slight cool down around here. You can see, though, off to our north, the northern plains already looking at a lot of winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories, snow coming down, and travel will become increasingly more difficult across much of the country because of the storm as we do head into this weekend. So something to be aware of if you do have some travel plans. Check out those flights before you head out to the airport. Here's that area of high pressure. Southeasterly flow for us. That's going to keep things milder tonight, around 10 degrees warmer than we were yesterday. So waking up tomorrow morning as you head off to work on that Friday, more comfortable, a little bit of fog possible. And as we head into Friday afternoon, a few showers possible. Rain chances only at around 10% though, but those temperatures back up into the 80s and they're going to stay that way all the way through this weekend. On Saturday, look for low to mid 80s, a little bit more breezy. You can see those gradients starting to shrink down a little bit. Great one to head out to the beaches, though. If you've got family in town, they're really going to enjoy the weather for it this weekend. You can see currently outside slowly starting to fall back into the 60s. 68 in Bradenton, 69 in Sarasota. It's 67 in Brandon, 62 currently in Brooksville, 59 already, though, in Inverness and Crystal River. Northern spots, one of the cooler areas on the map once again. Dew points sitting in the 50s. We're starting to see those rise a little bit with that southeasterly flow that allows for warmer temperatures and also a little bit more moisture around. Winter begins on Saturday. Not going to totally feel like it for us, though. Low 80s, slim 10% chance of rain tomorrow and through this weekend. Those better rain chances you can see at 30% coming in on Monday and Tuesday with the next cold front. And then as we head into Christmas Day, again, mid-70s, partly cloudy, not bad. And I know we've been joking about, I heard you joking with Steve, the snowman that looks a little uncomfortable with those low 80s there.
It looks like he's melting under all of the 83 degree temperatures. Yeah. All right, thank you, Julie.
And sports is coming up next.
Yeah, he's...
Sports on News Channel 8 is brought to you by Lexus.
Well, Greg Schiano said today the Bucks are a few pieces away from being a dominant defense. And some of those pieces are younger players already on the roster. But you know what else would help? How about a healthy Darrelle Revis? The star cornerback was pretty reflective today and said his surgery on his surgically repaired knee, it still is not yet 100%.
It still bothers me here and there, but at the same time, I'm just not I'm not even trying to think about it. I'm not trying to complain. I'm just trying to go out here and play. I've been cleared to play since week one, and it's been an up and down year. It is what it is. It's not where I want it to be.
As for the Bucs offense, it's dead last in the NFL, so it might be a good idea for offensive coordinator Mike Sullivan to start lining up jobs for next year. An upstate New York newspaper is reporting Sullivan will interview for the head coaching job at Army tomorrow. Sullivan is a former Army player and assistant coach. Saturday on Bucs Bonus, we'll preview the Bucs' next game in St. Louis. We'll also feature some rookies like the suddenly surging Will Golston, and Dan Lucas talks one-on-one with Jonathan Banks. Steven Stamkos skated again before the Lightning's morning practice today. He's still hoping to make his return in early February. Defenseman Victor Hedman, well, he's missed the last 6 games with a lower body injury, but he will play tonight in the Bolts home game against Nashville. Anders Lindback will start in goal against his former team. Got to give him some help, though, because the Bolts are scoring less than 2 goals per game when Lindback starts.
I look at Lindback and Bishop, and they've both been playing exceptional for us.
we're scoring goals for one guy and we're not scoring for the other.
Well, the Luke Scott era is over with the Rays, but it's just beginning in Korea. Today, the SV Wyverns of the Korea Baseball Organization announced they've signed the 35-year-old Scott to a one-year contract for $250,000. That's a lot of wands. All right, Gators fans, mark your calendars for September 2nd, 2017. Yeah, that's when Florida will open that year's college football season. They'll be playing Michigan at Cowboys Stadium. That's Jerry World. It'll be the Gators' first non-conference game outside the state of Florida since 1991. Well, high school coaching staple is stepping down, and that's Largo High's Rick Rodriguez, who's calling it a coaching career. Rodriguez spent 14 seasons with the Packers. He turned them into a Pinellas County power, but he said today, quote, "It's time to let a younger guy take over." He'll still coach it or still teach at the school,
right?
Just stepping aside. He's had a great career there, though.
Yeah, he did. Congratulations to him. Best going forward. That's the news for now. Thank you for joining us. Nightly News is next.
And we'll see you back here at 11. Good night.
Have a great night.